Good morning everyone, this is my Volkswagen Id.7 Pro with the Matrix LED headlights, and today I'm gonna show you everything that has to do with lights, inside, outside, ambient light, and of course the amazing, like I said, LED Matrix headlights with the auto high beam. This video is supported by Tronity, a must-have for every Volkswagen, Tesla or Ford owner, but also for other brands. With the app or the browser, you have an overview over your monthly cost, your charging sessions and all of your trips. And there's also a 100% tax-compliant driver's logbook. My viewers get 25% off if they use the link in the description below. Now let's look at the light that we have inside the car and outside of it. We have two lights here on the trunk for your license plates, but it's also lighting a bit down. We have two lights in the car, one on the left, so in the trunk, one on the left, one on the right. Of course our close button, if it would focus, is illuminated. Our charge port has this white light. It turns green when you're charging and blinks green when you have scheduled charging on. All the door handles have a light, and we have the projection of the Volkswagen logo on each side from the mirrors down, of course on this side as well. And again, all door handles have a light. Turn lights should turn on. Yes, come on, give me the movement. Yeah. Illumination in the car. We have our ambient light in the strip here going down, and another one here. We are on the rear seats, and we also have it in the foot area on both sides. We have this gigantic strong light here on top. Those four lights, but you can always turn off two, are very, very bright. Two USB-Cs, and the temperature is all on. In the front, of course, we have the same ambient light, the three ones underneath here, the blue strip, and then another one. Then we have light here. Amazing. Can you see that? The light has a proximity sensor, so when I get close, it gets brighter. We have again our two gigantic lights up there. Both can be turned off and have you can dim them. Then we have the ambient light underneath there, and of course the foot area as well. That is very dark because I don't need it so much. But if I turn that off, you can see that it's on, but just very dark, very faint. Two USB-Cs are here illuminated as well. The middle thing in here is not illuminated. All the buttons are illuminated. And then up here you have the all lights on button and the don't turn on when you open the doors. And then of course, when you open your mirror here, this light will turn on both sides. Dimming is very simple. You just press and stay, and when it has the brightness that you want, you stop, but then the next time it's again full, so it's not saved or anything. The light control, it's on the left of your steering wheel. You have again the proximity sensor. In the middle, the mode, you switch between the modes. Here you have your front fog light, the rear fog lights, if you want to defog your front window and defrost the rear window. And I like that it's a real button, then you don't have to go into infotainment system. And with mode, you can then switch between the modes, and they are different depending if the car has the ignition on or not. If it's turned off, it just says light, side lights on or off. This is for if you want to park and have the lights on that nobody crashes into your car. But when the ignition is on like this, then you get the following. You get automatic headlights, dip beam highlight, just the side lights, and off. And for the high beams, I just switch this forward. Towards me is flashing, and away from me is that the auto high beam is engaged. Then let's go to our light settings in the car in the infotainment system. First we have light animation. This is the thing when you get to the car that it does it turn the light on step by step. Then switch on when approached. That also means when you get to the car with your key, it will turn on the light. When you have that off, it won't. Exit light duration, that means when you get out of the car, the light will stay on for 30 seconds. And when you get to the car and the light turns on, the entry light duration is that it then stays on for 30 seconds. The next is then animation for the taillights, what we went through, and then the turn signals, classic or dynamic. And then we have the headlight settings. You can turn on and off the dynamic light assist, dynamic cornering light, so it doesn't go into the corners. Then switch on time, at what the light sensor, at what state it should turn on the light, so when it's still darker or when it's still light out. Automatic headlight control in rain means when the rain sensor detects rain and the wipers are on, you're in auto, the lights will turn on as well. Convenient turn signal. When this is off and you just tap the blinker, it will blink just once. When this is on, it will blink 3 times. And then you can turn the lights for driving on the right or driving on the left. When I get in, turn on the light. Our normal light, our brake lights, our rear fog lights, and reverse. Oh yeah, blinker. We forgot the blinker. It can be like this. It can be classic. Do the classic blinkers. And the dynamic ones. Light in front, and I'm approaching the car. The LED strip turns on, then the normal lights, they do a tiny little animation, and then they turn on fully. You can turn it off, but I have it on. Turn on the car. We can do, I should see if I can do the side lights. If I put it in gear, yes, that should be. But I get a bit brighter if I steer. They do. And then we have the front fog lights. Just gets a bit brighter. And then with the lights, I can turn it on just this, off, auto, and on. Oh, and of course the high beams. Hello. And when I get out, car will, even if I lock it, car will have the lights on for as long as I set it. 1 minute did I adjust. And then it will also turn off first the normal high beams and then the LED strip. And if I have the animation on in the rear will do an animation after this time that I set for the lights to be on. Let's see if it does what I think. Animation 1. Drive a bit so you can see what happens. We have the backup camera, 360-degree camera. Yeah, I try to drive back with the backup camera itself, and I'm not good. And it goes with your steering, also in the rear. Camera moves. So when you drive, of course the display adjusts its brightness, what you need, but you can always go in here and change that. And everything is illuminated, not too dark, not too bright. And it's nice that cockpit is not so bright and it's a bit dark in front of you, then the head-up display pops even more and you can focus more on the road. I really like it. Then let's go to the ambient light. Here you go into, I have it in German, ambient, and then you have 5 different ways that you can do it. First, you can be a mood, so it will just turn to your mood, and I think you can still switch the brightness up here, brightness of it, and that's it. So euphoria is red, vitality is yellow, automatic, then it goes with drive mode. This I think is comfort, eco is blue, sport should be red, and individual is yellow. If I go back, and then we have all off, and individual is the one that we want, and you can have all lights the same color, top or bottom, or different ways that we looked at, and then you can give it different colors, of course. One can be blue, one can be reddish or white. I was always the blue to light green. That was always my thing. I like that. And of course you can adjust the brightness for the foot area, for the doors, for the upper one and for the lower one. Oh, and it tells you even. Lights up for a second. See? Ah, awesome. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's channel membership. We drive on with the normal low beams, and when I steer you can see how the light is steering as well, and it's steering more into the corner than my steering angle, and so when I drive into a corner, we see that here it steers, the light itself steers into the corner, and it makes it really nice to go in there. Now let's look at the high beam. It turns on in the fade from the middle outside. Turn it off. When I turn it full on like this with a flash, but normally when you turn it on it does it like this. And the difference here too, how far you can see, all the street signs lighting up, reflecting. So this matrix LED headlight is made up of segments that can turn on and off, and we will see that with the auto high beam, with the high beam assist. So when I see this car, the middle part is being turned off, but the rest of the high beam stays on. And when this car is gone, now it turns on, is gone in a second, then the middle part will turn on again. And there we go, it turns on, all the full high beam is on. Does it here too, even though the car is on the side. And that's the a restriction of this high beam assist, that when there's a car parked on the side, sideways, and the car cannot see, identify lights, rear lights or front lights, it doesn't turn off. But like we see with this, it took a bit, and then it turns back on. It took a bit longer than I thought it should. Reflects the light strongly from traffic signs like this here, and sometimes it turns the high beams off because the reflection is so strong. The difference that I noticed to, for example, my ID.3 is that it seems like that the low beams are not as far, but still okay, and the high beam also have a limit on the top, whereas the ID.3 was a bit more round. It's still amazing light, and I don't see any negative to the ID.3 now. It's just, it lights up everything very bright. I can see everything. Now let's also look at the side lights that turn on when you steer a lot to the right or to the left. It's amazing when you have to go here, for example. Does it turn on when I go to the left? It's not that, I think they're just on because I'm driving so slow. Yep, now they're off. I think because I was driving so slow. Let's drive slower and see. Yeah, then they turn on. Under 30 kilometers an hour, and when I accelerate, they fade out. So this is not a steering thing that it was in the ID.3 when I steered to the right or to the left. There we have cars coming towards you far away, and does it turn off? Takes a bit. And now it turns off. So the distance is still not amazing for the high beam assist to recognize cars. So when you have a long straight, and then you have to do it yourself. Show you the fog lights as well. And I just tested when I drive slow and those side lights are on, the fog lights just are the same light, just a bit brighter still. So the side light is not as bright as the fog lights. When you turn them on, when you drive slowly, you can see that something has happened. We have another straight, and it's a long, that's not too long, yeah. That's 500-600 meters, and it works. But above this, it will not detect that there's another car. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.